Okay, if my tripod looks crooked, it probably is because it just fell the fuck over. Hey loves, what's up? Thanks for joining me today. My name is Lauren, if you didn't know, and today we are going over the remainder of Pat McGrath's Holiday 2021 collection, Celestial Odyssey. He released a big eyeshadow palette, some quads, a highlighter, blush trios, etc. Which majority of this stuff is still available on her site online from what I can see as of today. It took a year and a day for it to get here, which is unusual. I live very close to her distribution center in New Jersey. I don't live in New Jersey, but like I could drive there if I wanted to, and it took over a week for it to get here, so that's unusual. Generally speaking, I get her products within like 48 hours after my order. Like I could have drove over there and picked it up myself if y'all was having that much problems, but I digress. So what else did I get from the rest of this collection? I already did a video dedicated to the big Mothership palette. It'll show up in the cards up here. I also ended up picking up a trio, and yes, I do own one of the blushes that is just in this trio. One lucky soul in my life will end up getting that blush, but I did get the trio Amber Allure, and the reason I got it is because there was a new highlighter shade in here. So this highlighter that's in here does not exist as a single pan anywhere, but it is in this palette. I already own the shade Paradise Venus, but I never owned this shade down here. Like I'm not a big berry person when it comes to blushes, but I was very interested in the highlighter more so than the blushes. I also picked up both of the quads, Bronze Borealis, and it's so hard to read like the wording on these. Deep Space Divinity, so I had both of those. And then I also got the highlighter, Lunar Nude. And the highlighter comes in this gold packaging. Hold on. Satisfying, which is gorgeous. Although I will say in the hand, this feels light and chic. I will say my enthusiasm went down even more when I got my package and I'm expecting to make sure everything's okay. And I saw the pan size were significantly smaller, like they were small upon sight. There is a price reduction in the quads, but it's by $4. So I'm trying to figure out exactly how much of this goes to the packaging versus how much is actually in the product formulation itself. Like it's starting to get real like $4. Hold on, let me grab an actual palette so I can show you. The pans are smaller. When these came out, these were $65, but these are all her Blitz Astral special shades. Then she came out with another group and these came around $58, $60, and then now we're down to $54. But honestly, just keep the pan size the same. Also, it's safe to notice that I do miss the hieroglyphics on the front. All of her quads had these hieroglyphics logos on the front up to this point, and now all of a sudden it just says Pat McGrath LED. I think that's kind of whack. I prefer this packaging with this pan size over this. So to make this video short, simple, and sweet, there'll be a time bar down below. I am going to go over each product individually, and then I'm going to wrap up my thoughts on what I think is worth it and what I think is you can wait or skip out on entirely. And by wait, I mean go for it when it goes on sale, because it will probably go on sale. So I think I'm going to start with the blush pan first. And we're gonna do that. I want to do that first because I only have one makeup wipe left to my name. We are on the struggle bus right now, and it's gonna be harder for me to just wipe off my face and reapply product. So I do have a video showcasing the blushes. If you want to see that, it'll be up above somewhere. But other than that, we can get started on the blushes. The blush trio. I got the Divine Blush Trio in Amber Allure. And that it looks like it's like it's two of these available. The other one is called Galactic Sun. Galactic Sun looks like it's leaning more for light fair, and this is leaning more for medium deep. So I like that she catered to both ends of the spectrum. The description says it's infused with botanical oils, high intensity glow, micro perfect finish, translucent coverage, mistake proof buildability. Translucent coverage confuses me because I don't want my blush to be translucent. Vivid color purity, sensorial experience, skin-like effect. Master the art of multidimensional color and highlighting with this transcendental complexion trio. Expertly curated by Pat for outrageously radiant illumination. Each palette combines 2 divine blush hues with a heavenly divine glow highlighter. The silky feather light formulations glide on, blend, and build with exquisite ease, imparting legendary luminosity to the cheeks, high points of the face, and beyond. Pat says, I assembled each set to transform every complexion for effortless contouring and ultimate incandescence. I'm just gonna do a quick swatch of each color. So that's what the swatches look like. As I mentioned, I already had this shade Paradise Venus. I did not own this shade Love Struck, which is right here. It's like a berry color. I'm not a big fan of berry blushes, but we're gonna put all 3 on my face just in case you wanted to see all 3 on my face. And then we have the Divine Glow highlighter in Venus Nectar, which looks like a very coppery-ish champagne peachy color. Let's get into a demo really quickly of all 3 colors on my face, and then we'll go on to the next product. Okay, I put on the highlighter, but I put way too much on. I thought I was doing myself a favor by picking like a light flimsy brush, but I do have the tendency to be heavy-handed a lot of times, so my fault. So you'll see me like kind of erase it with the brush I used to put on my foundation a little earlier and then reapply it some more, this time lighter. But yeah, this highlighter, I piled way too much on when I first put it on. It's cute, it's pretty, I like it, but just go in with ease because this was super powdery. Like, I tapped off my brush before I put it on my face that first time, and it still had a lot of product left on that brush, so I ended up having to wipe off my brush and then reapply it to get like the look you see now. Quick application of Paradise Venus. And now I'm applying the blush Love Struck. Even though I'm not a big berry blush person, the shade Love Struck is super flattering. I do like this a lot. Paradise Venus is also a good shade as well. It works well with my complexion. I will say go in with a light hand, as both of these are super pigmented, but that's a good thing because then you can build it up and get the intensity that you want. But I love both of these blush shades. On to the highlighter. We have the Skin Fetish Sublime Skin Highlighter in the shade Lunar Nude. This looks gorgeous. Okay, here's a swatch of it. And the description reads, can you see that? It's like a, kind of looks like what I just like had on. Let me swatch it next to the highlighter in this palette, which I will say is very dusty. Like a lot of kick up came up. So that's from the trio. Okay, so this is more champagne and this has more pink and warmth in it. Okay, so here's the highlighter and it runs for $60. It says gel powder, lightweight, opalescent sheen, multidimensional, and buildable. Capture light and project illumination with a heavenly highlighter that delivers a resplendent range of otherworldly effects, indulgently creamy to the touch yet silky soft in application. This crystalline gel powder radiates pure light while laying down a smooth veil of multidimensional sparkle. While pairing with the iconic Skin Fetish highlighter and balm duo, this gorgeously gleaming highlighter mimics the reflection of light with glittering shine, ethereal luminosity, and metallic brilliance. Pat says this highlighter was formulated to become one with the skin and effortlessly layer for custom intensity. Okay, this is the swatch right here. It's a bit cooler and champagne than the one that's in the trio. Actually, now that I look at it, it's purple and blue sparkle in here. Does the camera pick that up? I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but there is lavender in here. Interesting. You know how I felt about that last lavender highlighter. Let's not do that again. I'm gonna apply this to my face really quickly on both sides. I just quickly took off what I had, the blush trio, and put some foundation back on. Hopefully I do not pick up an obnoxious mount like I did with the blush trio because this thing was powdery. And I tapped off my brush a couple times before I even let it touch my face, but just gonna quickly do this. Something tells me I may need like a stiffer brush to do this with. No, that works. Let me bring you in closer. This is pretty. The other one was pretty too. The other one came with a learning curve though, because it was so powdery. It too much of it came off on the brush. So use either a squirrel hair brush if you don't like a lot of highlighter, or a lighter hand. I tend to be a little bit heavy-handed, so that's my bad. This is pretty. I like this. It's giving me like a second skin, but just shiny and glass-like. I'm gonna just tone this down. It took it too far. We're ignoring this pimple that decided it wanted to show up uninvited. Oh, I like this highlighter a lot. That just changed my whole mood. And I do see a little bit of that, like there's purple, lavender, bluish flakes in here, and they're very subtle. You would have to be like if you was to swatch this in person, you would see what I'm talking about. I don't think the camera is doing it justice, but in person, this looks like second skin. It's giving me like a glass skin effect, and I like that a lot. So that's the highlighter. Okay, that highlighter is, whew, I like that highlighter a lot. So on to the next two products. So I'm gonna split this up into two parts. I'm gonna do each quad and an eye look with each. That's another reason why I was disappointed. Two of these shades in both of these palettes are quite similar. Like, it's like this one is slightly lighter than this one. Like the champagne, you see what shade I'm talking about. They look dumb similar. And they're in the same placement in each palette. Like that's disappointing. Channel Cosmic Captivation with this limited edition curated quartet of infinite versatile bronze hues in 3 finishes, including velvet matte, sateen shimmer, and 2 foiled metallics. These luxuriously next generation formulas glide on with a silky even layer of sumptuously saturated color that blends effortlessly. Discover an infinite array of, I have never seen this word in my life, array of bronze looks for elevated artistry. What does that even mean? Charming or enchanting. Beguilingly. Okay. Pat says these shadows are some of the most versatile I've ever created. They let you smoke, scintillate, and softly smolder on demand. So effortless. I wonder if Pat actually speaks like this in real life, because this is like blowing me. This is Bronze Borealis. This is the lighter of the two and probably the most boring one here, but we're gonna just swatch them really quickly. So from top to bottom, we have Lunar Legend, Sienna Rose, Mink Dusk, and Cyber Bronze. And that's those 4 shades, which is pretty. And then the other quad, we have Space Divinity. And we have the shades from top to bottom: Golden Allure, Rose Nocturne, Alien Moon, and Dawn Fantasia. They're quite similar too. I would say Divine, what is this called? Deep Space Divinity? Yeah, Deep Space Divinity is darker. The one with this one is slightly darker, more rich, while this is a little bit lighter. But they are quite similar, even amongst each other. We're gonna do Bronze Borealis first. And I still haven't decided what I'm gonna do, but I'll figure it out. Starting off with the quad Bronze Borealis, I go in the shade Mink Dust and apply that all throughout the crease and on the outer portion of the lid. I then take the shade Sienna Rose with my finger and apply that all over the rest of the lid, like 2/3 of it. pencil brush, I take the shade Lunar Legend and apply that to the inner corner. Make dust with a liner brush across the lower lash line. Cyber bronze, and I put that on the front half of the lower lash line, and that finishes off this look. Okay, now going into Deep Space Divinity, I take the shade Alien Moon and pack that on the outer corner, and then like 2/3 of the upper lid. Taking a blending brush just to smooth that out and get the shape I want. Rose Nocturne on a liner brush, and I use that on the outer third of the lower lash line. Take the shade Golden Allure with a flat shader brush and use that on the inner portion of the upper lid, and I merge it with Alien Moon. Then take Alien Moon again and reapply it to the lid on top of that Golden Aurora shade, just because I felt like it gave it a different shift almost from blue to purple, and then it made it like more blue silver, which I thought was a pretty cool effect. Then with the liner brush, I take Dawn Fantasia and put that on the remainder of the lower lash line, mainly on the inner portion of it. And here's the finished look using both Bronze Borealis and Deep Space Divinity quads. Okay, so we're done. This is all I'm gonna do for this. So let's just recap everything that was bought, shall we? And what I recommend, if anything, from this 2021 holiday launch. So things that I think can be skipped. We'll start off with the bad first. The eyeshadow quads. One, their packaging isn't as luxe as it normally is. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of this just typed on here like this. I miss the gold hieroglyphics that these usually have. The pan sizes are smaller, and we have seen these shades 20 times over. You don't need both of these quads. Pick one if you feel like you want one. If I was to pick one, I would probably pick Deep Space Divinity over Bronze Borealis, but that's just my personal preference, because we have these 4 shades that's in Bronze Borealis about 20 times over within Pat's own line. I've seen these mauves, I've seen these colors before, and I've seen these golds and champagnes before. The only thing that's making me pick Deep Space Divinity over Bronze Borealis is the fact that there is this duochrome, which is not unique within eyeshadows, but it is unique within Pat's own line. We also don't really have a matte shade like this either. Nothing really comes to mind immediately, but we definitely have these champagne, gold, and copper shades for sure. If you were to pick up an eyeshadow quad, I would highly suggest you wait for a sale. Black Friday is right around the corner, Thanksgiving, holiday season, all those sales will be occurring at some point. Wait for a sale. But I honestly feel like you can skip. Again, $54 for the eyeshadow quads. Let's go on to this highlighter and Lunar Nude. I highly recommend this. This highlighter Do you see the glow? You like a skin-like, glass-like skin finish? This is going to give it to you. I 100% recommend it. $60 is a steep price tag. I do recommend you wait for it to go on sale as well if you can. Just hope it don't sell out by then. Now for the top 2 things I recommend out of this collection. If you somehow skipped all of the blush launches, get this. I was looking for my Paradise Venus. I could not find it. I found all the other ones except for that one. I was looking in my drawer like, where you go? I'll find it at some point. But something tells me this is slightly different than the one that's actually in there. But I do recommend this if you didn't have this. I only got this because, like I said, this highlighter shade up here, Venus Nectar, was new to Pat McGrath's highlighter line, and I wanted to see it. I do like the highlighter in here. And you get 2 blush shades. All of this for the price of $50. This is a steal. The blush formula is great from Pat McGrath, so it's very buildable. I say start in light and build your way up, especially when you get to the deeper blushes on the spectrum. Like, they're very pigmented. I don't have the lighter one, but I imagine it works just as fine. That one already has an existing highlighter in it that can be bought individually, so just be mindful of that. If you bought that highlighter, you may end up with a second one. And now for the big kahuna, the #1 thing I recommend from this is this eyeshadow palette. I did a video on it. Again, it'll be linked in the cards up above. You are getting the most bang for your buck out of here. The fact that she is getting, like, I wish if she was to do quads this year and release this, she should have did special shades in all these quads, because essentially she's giving these formulations that are offered also in here. I mean, not the exact same colors, obviously, but like, if you're gonna pay over $50 for eyeshadow, because these both cost over $50, just spring for this one. It's 70, what was it, 70, 75, 78. For $20 more, you get 14 more shades. Just get this, just get this, just get this. Again, my top recommendations is this highlighter, this, and the blush trios. These are, you're getting the most bang for your buck with these 2 things. This one, not so much. This is $60. That's gonna be up to your discretion. But like I said, if you like that glass skin highlight, like look at the side of my face right now. It is glowing. When I'm face forward, I look regular and matte. As soon as I turn my head though, I would say this is the best $60 I've ever spent. Just a quick reminder too, whenever she launches things, she does give a discount. It's 10% off usually. And she also does do bundles on her site that save you money as well. So always look out for those when buying from Pat McGrath. But I would say most of these things can wait till, you know, her Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Christmas sales come around, when she's offering 20 or 30% off. That's my opinions on Pat McGrath's Celestial Oydessy Holiday 2021 collection. Tell me what you like about it. Tell me what you don't like about it. Tell me what you got, if you got anything at all, what you're waiting for. Is it on your wish list? Any other information you know about this collection that maybe I missed in this video, let me know in a comment down below. And I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe. Bye, guys. Channel Cosmic Captivation with this limited edition curated quartet of infinite